You got me wanting to want you, but I don't think you like me like that.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Chit Mamita back with another video. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. I feel like I've really been on a roll with these chit chats, so I want to keep it going. If you've been following me for a while, you would know it's a change in scenery, right? Why? Because as I mentioned to you guys before, I've moved out of my apartment, my beautiful, lovely first big girl apartment. Lots to unpack with that. But that goes hand in hand with today's topic. Having moved out of my apartment inspired this video. Remember how I talked to you guys about duality? Like about finding the good and the bad, finding opportunity in the struggle. Here's an example. As much as there has been grief and just like a period of transition, I think, in moving out of my apartment, moving back in with family, it's not been the easiest. But again, it's important to look at things holistically, and I think there's been a lot of like time to just like reflect and think about like, what did that phase mean to me? Like, and I think something that came up, which is what today's topic is what are some things that I've learned from like living alone? Because I think each chapter of your life teaches you something or a few things, obviously, if you like open yourself up to that. And I wanted to share those reflections with you guys. And that's all to say, like, if anyone is experiencing anything similar, like, don't be so hard on yourself, because I beat myself up all the time. I'm like, I'm not where I want to be. Like, I'm not where I should be. I've talked to my coach about this. I've talked about this to my therapist. Like, putting that pressure on yourself is what makes you feel so shitty. Because, like, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Like, you're imposing those expectations on yourself, and that's why you feel like you're not where you should be in life. And it's like you're making these imaginary expectations of like where you should be, of like what your life should look like. And it's like everybody has a different understanding of what that is. So at that point, if everyone's setting those expectations for themselves and have their own understanding of what an ideal life looks like or what success looks like, what's the point of beating yourself up over you not meeting yours, like your understanding of what success looks like and like where you should be, you know? So just to preface that, like, if anyone needed to like make a move or like make an adjustment in their life temporarily, like to feel like, you know, they're in a more comfortable spot financially, or, you know, that aligns more with like their longer term goals, like, be proud of yourself. Like, that's a hard thing to do. And again, it comes with its challenges. It comes with its grief. But at the end of the day, like, you know your intention, you know your purpose in making whatever decision, and be proud of that. And like, remember that when it feels like you're behind, or like you're comparing yourself to somebody else's life and, you know, feeling like maybe your life should look different. So yeah, trust the process, trust God, trust that as long as you're taking the steps that you need to align with all of your goals, to, you know, align with what you actually truly want in life, that's all that matters. Everything else is gonna fall in line. So anyways, that was just a little like pep talk from Titi Stella. But that's all to say, here are a few things that I've learned from living alone, living in my big girl apartment. One is just that living is fucking expensive. And that's not to be a pessimist, that's just to be a realist. Like, when you live under somebody else's roof, you don't tally up paper towels. You don't tally up, you know, household cleaning supplies. Like, there's a lot of things that you don't even think about that it's like, wow, like, you actually have to pay for this. Like, everything costs money. I mean, that's the general life lesson. Like, everything costs something, but like, everything costs money. Like, this shit be adding up. So I think it's important to like have an understanding and awareness of what you use. And also, like, to some degree, I think something that like I ran away from for a long time is like budgeting. But like, it's crucial in order to make ends meet. Like, because at the end of the day, it's on you. You got to make shit happen. You can't rely on mom and dad to like pay for toilet paper when it's out. Like, you need to think about, again, all of these costs and like covering them. So having like a plan, like a financial plan, is really important. in making sure that you have all your bases covered, basically. I think something else that I learned is like, when there's a will, there's a way. And just like, there's so much more potential and like power in you than you even could imagine. Because like, I think it's easier to like underestimate how much you can do. Again, especially when you're, and everyone grew up differently, but I was fortunate and I acknowledged the privilege and like growing up in a family where there was a lot of support, and I felt like not necessarily coddled, but like I never, regardless of how we struggled, I never felt like I had to go without. The way that I was raised, like it was a village, and my mom was a superhero. So like I feel like I didn't really have to think about like shit needing to happen because she made it happen. And so I think obviously that's a plus, right? That's a positive thing, because like that allowed me to live a more stress-free life. I think that's the best way to put it, because like I didn't have to worry about these things. But I think moving on your own and like being the one that's responsible for everything, it's a huge transition, because it's like you're not used to having to handle everything. And one, I think there's an adjustment in terms of like, okay, I gotta buck the fuck up to put it frankly, and like make shit happen, you know, like no one's gonna do this for me. But also I think there's a positive aspect of like, you tend to underestimate everything that you're capable of, because like when you're living alone and you make like, I don't know, I feel like this, for me, it's a huge like confidence booster, and just like it's really a big step in like my self-love journey to see what I'm capable of. I think proving things to myself, like keeping promises to myself, like I think when I doubt myself and I'm like, I actually make shit happen, I'm like, oh wait, you are that girl, you know? And so I guess another lesson is just like, don't underestimate like everything that you are capable of, and like everything that you can accomplish on your own. Because again, when there's no one else to take care of these things and it's all on you, like literally your livelihood is solely dependent on you, and you're maintaining like that responsibility, like that's huge, you know? So pat yourself on the back. And I think a big part of that is like, you learn to be like resourceful, like instead of relying on mom and dad, instead of relying on, you know, aside from the traditional family dynamic, like relying on anyone who are used to like taking care of all these things, like your brain is on, like you're constantly thinking, okay, how am I gonna make this happen? It's not a matter of if I can, it's a matter of how are we gonna make this happen. I think another thing is just like, I think it teaches you the power of solitude, and just like how rewarding it is to like be alone, know how to be alone, know how to like be introspective, like the importance in that. And I'm saying that because I feel like obviously living alone, like you're spending a lot of time by yourself, you know, you don't have roommates, there's nobody for you to talk to, girl. Like there are times, and I've made this joke before, but I actually mean it, like there are times I forgot to talk for a whole day. Like if I'm not calling people, if I'm not going on my way to make plans, I'm probably not gonna see anyone. Now obviously this was before my relationship, because like when you're in a relationship you're seeing that person often, like, you know, but like either way, not living with someone for an extended period of time, like it's just you, girl. So I think it kind of forces you to like face your thoughts, and for better or for worse, and face yourself most importantly. And it's like, I feel like that time is so valuable, because it like really teaches you about how you think, how you feel, what you believe, things that you can easily run away from when you're constantly surrounded by other people. And it also just teaches you like how you like to operate. Like you're not on somebody else's time, like you're not on somebody's schedule. You have the agency, the space, and the freedom to build your life, like literally build your routine, your day to day independently. What could teach you more about yourself than that? There's an element of like not really having as many distractions. Obviously living in a city, I was like 15 minutes from downtown, so like there was many distractions obviously once I stepped out of my building, but like in my apartment, like in my unit, there's limited distractions. So again, I think that makes your energy become more inwardly focused. And obviously it's a choice, right? You could choose to either embrace that, lean into it, and like look inward, or you can run away from that because you don't want to face yourself. I can tell you right now, it was very rewarding to lean into the solitude when I had the opportunity, Mind you, you gotta catch yourself, girl, because it's just like it's on you to lean inward, to look inward, to reflect. It's also on you to have a social life. So I think that's kind of like the double-edged sword, is like you have so much solitude, and like that's such a good thing because it allows you to, again, really like spend time with yourself and like work on your relationship with yourself and understanding yourself. But on the flip side, I think it'll also be dangerous because it's like, oh wait, I haven't hung out with anyone for a week. Like I've just been in my own little world. So finding a balance, I think, where you are like spending that time with yourself, but you're also pouring into your social life and like seeing people is very important. I think even like aside from like the fact that living alone really shows you like the importance of like solitude, I think it also shows you the importance of like what it means to like actually like create a home. You know what I'm saying? Because like a house is genuinely not a home. It's not about the structure. It's about like the feelings. It's really what you make of it. You have to like foster an environment that is comfortable, that feels warm, that feels like full of love and joy. And the process of, again, building the home, like I think that that's one of the big lessons for me too, is like you have to intentionally build a home for yourself. Like that shit don't just come out of thin air. It's literally, it's like on you, again, to understand how you operate, what you need, what are you comfortable with. Like, you like the candles on at night. What do you want your apartment to smell like? What time do you like to wake up? Do you like to have music on when you're cooking? Like, there's small things like that where it's like you really learn yourself. You learn what makes you feel like comfortable, you know? And also just like what helps you like stay centered, stay grounded, and generally just content. That's dependent on the person. What I might think makes a home might be different than what someone else, you know, might consider a home. So again, really understanding yourself and understanding like what is necessary for somewhere to feel like home, I think is really, it's really useful. And that contributes to like a major point here, which is like at the end of the day, and all these things go hand in hand, but like you are the one person that is responsible for your happiness, for your joy, for your comfort, for your peace. And it's important to hold yourself accountable and, again, responsible for building like your life, like building your ideal life, building your dream life, the life that you want and the life that makes you happy. Because like, again, who else is going to do it? And I think that's like a very like drastic, you know, environment in which like that is made known, but it really just magnifies something that I think is true generally, which is, again, like it's on you at the end of the day to make life as comfortable, as happy, as peaceful, or as miserable as possible. Because I don't have to tell you guys this again, like too much, like not too much, but we cannot control the shit that happens on a daily basis. There are a lot of things we can't control, but what you can control is how you respond to things that are happening. At the end of the day, you do have agency in deciding, what am I going to do with the experiences that I've had in my life? That is on you. You can either make it really beautiful, or you can really wallow in your sorrows and like be like, my life fucking sucks, you know? And so I think perspective is so important, and understanding your agency. And I've talked about this before. It's like I've talked about, you know, regaining agency and like building your dream life. You guys want to check out that video. I talk about these things all the time, and it's not for nothing. Like I genuinely believe all of these things are really important in like living a fulfilling life. I think it's easy to like blame other things or other people for like not being happy with the life that you have. We all do it, right? Sorry, I'm just gonna drink my cafecito real quick, even though it's hot. Also, guys, look how cute this mug is. I forgot where I want it. I want it at some party or something. It's easy to blame other people and things for like your misery, but it's like, again, no one's responsible for you, babes. I told y'all this before. Who came with y'all into this world? Nobody. So it's on you to make sure you're good at the end of the day. If anybody else does it, obviously, like, that's nice. Like, we all need and want people to feel responsible for our happiness, because like that's the power of community, right? But it's not their responsibility at the end of the day. Like, actually though, I think while like living alone also teaches you like what you know, what you like, and like that you have agency in creating like a home and like a routine and a life that makes you happy. I think it also teaches you that while it helps you lean inward, I think once you like re-engage with people, like maybe you move in with a boyfriend, or like me, like you're moving in with your family, you understand that people have a different way of living. And like I think that puts things into perspective in terms of, okay, like I'm living with this person, like they have a different way of living. Like just like I had my experience living alone, like they probably have their experience of what it feels like to be comfortable living in their space. And so I think it teaches you the value of compromising and like honestly just like putting yourself in other people's shoes. You're able to tap in like a different perspective of like what it's like to live in your own space. And so I think for me, like that really added value, because it's like now I take things into consideration of like I know there are certain things that I like done a certain way. So like if somebody else wants their things done a certain way, I can respect it and we can have a conversation, because I understand how I like to function and I understand that maybe they have their way of functioning. I think there's more to work with than in that situation than not really knowing how you function living with somebody and you just knowing that like it pisses you off when they do this thing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's an added layer of perspective. So yeah, to tie it all together, like as I mentioned before, living alone, it can be a symbol for like much bigger things. I think it could teach you lessons about things that transcend your living situation, which is again like reminding you that your relationship with yourself is really important, and like it all starts within, because like you project whatever is going on internally is what you project on the outside world. So just like you want to make sure your apartment, you know, your house feels like home, you got to make sure you feel like home. Ooh, let's talk about it. Drink to that. That's what I'm saying. It's bigger than just the apartment. It's bigger than the house. It's bigger than your physical space. It's like internally you're building a home. You should be building a home. It should feel like home. It should feel comfortable. You shouldn't be running away from it. Like, just like you should know what your routine is and what you like when it comes to your physical space, you should understand that about yourself internally. And so I know I made this video a lot deeper than maybe you guys expected, because that's all it does. But I genuinely do believe that like really asking yourself the hard questions of like, what is this thing trying to teach me, is like so important, even beyond the situation. And I think this is a prime example of like something that I've experienced where it's like, this has taught me things about, again, my physical space and like what I want that to look like and how I operate in my living situation. But also I think the lessons are really, I don't know if I would say they're transitional lessons, but I think they're transformative, because they add perspective in other aspects of life, in my own self-love journey and just healing journey even, because it's like it really does make you ask yourself the hard questions and again truly get to know yourself on a deeper level. So anyways, y'all, hope you guys found this video helpful. I feel like it's really been energizing me to like make these chit chats, so thank you guys for tuning in and listening to me yap, because y'all know I love doing that. So, but I genuinely do hope that, you know, what I'm saying resonates with you. If it doesn't, leave it behind. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap the video up here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are staying safe, healthy, and warm, because East Coast girlies, we're struggling right now. Y'all see me with the turtleneck right now. Like, it's tough out here. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching.
With it and move on to the next. But if we're being